Hi guys, Rachel here. How is everyone? Tell me, I want to know. So yeah, I've been meaning to do a March wrap up or at present, and it never happened really. I think I kind of did a little catch up in my decks I never use video, but whatever. I'm going to try to keep this short. I don't know how well that will work. I suppose I'll just talk about some of the books I read, decks I used in March, and then, sort of like segue somehow into April, like at present. So, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just sort of be like all over the place. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, I'm feeling better, I guess. I mentioned in my last personal kind of video how I was feeling really cranky, and it's been very hard for me to relax because shortly after I made that video, I suddenly had every reason to be in a bad mood. But that was because of something external that happened. Let's just say people. Like, people. I deal with some really nasty ghosts who are still here. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it. It's way too much drama, and that's not why I'm here. I like to get semi-personal. I'm pretty genuine. It's hard for me not to be truthful, but trust me, like, you don't want to know. It's like Lifetime Network kind of stuff. I can't believe it. But I've been very very angry as a result of that, of people's behavior, and just trying to find ways to separate myself from that. So, it has its boons, it has its bonuses. Sometimes when you're faced with controversy or adversity or just what have you, you find new tools to help you through that. And yeah, it's a growing process. Anyhow, so yeah, I mentioned how, or no, maybe I didn't mention. I've just been talking about it like to friends, how I've been wanting to get to the beach. Like, I really miss it this time of year. I don't tend to go to the beaches this time of the year just because of, our daily schedule. Even though there's several rather close. But I used to. And I found some of the photos that I used to take. I suppose I'll just show you some. I don't know if these are all like beach photos. But yeah, you can see this was like when my daughter was a toddler. This was probably February or March or something. It's a really lovely time to go to the beach because you can find like these guys. Like, oh, here it is. I found this guy at one of my favorite beaches this time of the year. But in the summer, it's hard to be a beachcomber because everybody's, hunting for shells and things. But yeah, I really connect with the ocean in a very personal way, which I don't know. I won't talk about it right now, just for the sake of brevity, and I don't have all night. It has suddenly become very late. I decided to fold laundry before I made my video so that I wasn't faced with a pile of laundry on the bed after I made the video. And maybe I'm regretting that decision. Anyway, some of these photos I'm looking at, and I took these years ago, but sometimes when I'm under stress, some of these images come to mind, and they ground me, or they give me strength, or they remind me of what's important or who I am. Yeah, there's me. I think my sister took that photo. And I'm thinking, like, it might be fun to make my own personal deck with some of my favorite photos. I don't know how that got in there. I don't think it would be something that I would try to sell. I don't think it would resonate with anyone else. But that's why a lot of people, that's why a lot of people produce decks in the first place. Was it started off with something for their own personal use, and then other people are like, oh, hey, I like that, and they decide to make it available to other people. Yeah, anyway, so I didn't get to the beach, but I did get to the MFA for the Hokusai exhibit, and we loved it so much that we went not once but twice. We went on Saturday, and then we went again on Wednesday. It is Friday today. So I have a membership to the MFA. It's a birthday gift or a Christmas gift that I get every year from one of my brothers. And it's just the most wonderful gift because the museum is my happy place. I typically go with my boyfriend and my daughter, and they enjoy it too. But I am like a kid in a candy shop. I could go, I don't want to say every day, but yeah, sort of. For me, it's kind of like, walking around a park or the beach or something, or going to your favorite bar and, to run into your, some of your favorite barflies. You know what I mean? But anyway, the Hokusai exhibit was great. And I picked up this book that showcases the exhibit, which I thought $25 wasn't bad for, this really nice binding. So, yeah, and it was really neat because on Sunday, the next day after we'd seen the exhibit, my daughter and I watched this Japanese film that I had no idea existed. I don't even remember how I found it. We must have been searching something Hokusai, and there was this movie. What the heck was the name of it? Oh, I love this, by the way. Tiger in the storm. It was a film about his daughter. Actually, this is her work here. So I was really impressed with it. It was obviously a historical film. I thought everything, like the hair, the clothes, the art studios that they were working in at the time, like the 1800s, just seemed very in keeping with those times. Not to mention it was very touching. So, that was one of the reasons why we wanted to go back. This was April break that we just had this week. And so my daughter didn't have any school. And we went back on Wednesday. And this time the museum was less crowded. And we went and enjoyed some of these beautiful, woodblock prints more leisurely because it wasn't as crowded. And we also wanted to go back because there was a pair of earrings that she wanted with the Great Wave on them. So we wanted to get those before they sold out. And I thought it was a good use of, of her money that she'd gotten, like, for her birthday and stuff. So, oh yeah, I got this. Isn't that fun? and some little notebooks that I can pop in my purse. And I thought this was so cute. This little book of haikus. It's all about cats. Okay, my stomach is doing that thing again where I mentioned in my last video, it sounds like science fiction or hammer horror, so I really hope that you can't hear it. But anyway, so yeah, we went to the museum, like I said, twice, and then after we were done there, went to the office and did some work. Like, our office is like kind of down the street from the museum. It's a nice neighborhood. And then we took a walk around the city, and the Common was so beautiful. Like, I guess I hadn't been to the Common in a while, like during the spring, like when everything's budding, and I was so excited. I guess I've been more of a hermit than I wanted to admit, but when I approached like my first tree, like in the Common, I was so excited. I was like a little kid. I was shouting out, "Hello, beautiful tree, hello." And my daughter was like, "Mom, like, what are you doing?" And yeah, we just had a wonderful time. It's spring, so the squirrels and the pigeons were just, you know, having a blast. And it was so funny. I was walking, you know, on this path through the Common, and this squirrel like leapt out at me from a bush, and we almost collided, and it scared me, and I actually screamed out, and I made this woman laugh who was walking by. Anyway, so that was fun. Anyway, I need a sip of water. So let's see, where should I start? So with March, like, what did I do in March? Speaking of hammer horror, how I just mentioned that with my stomach, it was really funny. I've been mentioning how, you know, I've been struggling with being ill. And I don't know why, but somehow, for comfort, I don't know why I'm stuttering, I found myself binge watching hammer horrors, like by myself in bed. And I have no idea why, especially considering what it is that I'm going through, why that I would find that comfort, but it's pretty funny. Like, yeah, like this was a good one. Plague of the Zombies, I actually thought was actually pretty well done. I don't know. Just, yeah, a lot of hammer horror. You know, and they're all cheesy, and, you know, honestly, my daughter, she's taken a liking to it. She's always liked vampires and stuff. And there's been quite a few that we've watched together, but I decided to take it upon myself to watch some of these movies by myself before watching with her. And I'm so glad that I did, because there were a few, like, you know, Christopher Lee Dracula films that I would have just watched with her, not knowing that, whoa, this is actually not appropriate. So I'm so glad that I did spend those hours on my own watching what I did, because no, she can't watch those movies yet. But yeah, I've come across some good ones, like Mask of the Red Death was actually pretty good. Stylistically, what they did with the colors and everything was interesting. My favorite one that we've watched together, and it's not really hammer horror, it's just a spooky Vincent Price movie, was The Pit and the Pendulum. That one we loved so much that I bought a copy of that one. Okay, so let's see. What did I use in March for decks? I'll just try to show them as quickly as I can. Of course, there's my Secret Pocket Oracle. Why does this happen to me every time that I'm trying to make a video? I guess this was my last reading. I show this deck all the time, and yeah, I just feel like I show it all the time and I talk about it all the time. So if you really want to know my thoughts on it and why I love it so much, I don't know which video to direct you to, or if it's even that important, but the Spirit Cats is the other oracle that I was using. Like I said, it's been a comfort for me while I've been going through what I've been going through. Yeah. Like I said, just trying to go as quickly as I can here. I don't know what I'm doing. So I was using, not anymore, but the Classic Tarot. Yeah, I talk about this one all the time too. But I was using it alongside the Tenebrae, which is beautiful indie deck. And actually, it's like, I don't know, it's like one of my favorite decks, and it's also like priced like surprisingly cheap for an indie deck. I think this is like $40. This is beautiful imagery from magazines, I believe, from, you know, the 1980s and 90s or something like that. You know, and he manipulated them to give them this sort of like ethereal quality. And I love the keywords on the bottom. I chose the version with the keywords. So it's also a Marseille based system that he based this on. So I don't know, I was just sort of enjoying how this looked together. I don't know why, if it's the idea that they're both like Marseille decks, even though this is an Italian one, with all the text on both. Maybe I liked that. Yeah. And I'm not really using this in April so far. The Tenebrae I have used here and there, but this was more, you know, my March. I don't know. Isn't this beautiful? Yeah. Okay. And what else did I use? My Paul Marteau, like, edition Doucier. It's like a anniversary edition of, you know, like the Grimaud decks. I was mentioning in my Marseille collection video how I love these backs. These are, I think, the same backs they used in the editions from like the 1930s. So this is beautiful, but it's really hard to find now, unfortunately. Maybe they'll put it back out there again. I don't know much about this publishing company. It's French. But it's beautiful. It was very reasonable when I bought it. I bought it back in, like, I don't know, 2017, 2018. And it was surprisingly on Amazon at the time. It shipped from overseas, from the UK, I believe. And I want to say that it was like around 35, which for a Marseille is, you know, reasonable because they can be expensive. But the last time I looked this up, I don't remember why I did. If I thought maybe I should get a backup or something. No. It's like impossible to find unless you're going to spend a lot of money on it. I used my Cherokee by Mr. Freeborg quite a bit. This is a beautiful blend of, you know, the Italian decks, the Minchiottis, Matea, some others. I have a walkthrough of this And there's plenty of walkthroughs out there. So yeah, again, for the sake of brevity, I'm not going to go through this. Because yeah, I did do a walkthrough of this. And the expansion pack for this is also beautiful. Let's see. The Fyodor Pavlov, which is a beautiful Rider-Waite, I don't know. Yeah, I love how they feel. They feel quite thin, but they're nice. They're, I feel like they're durable. US Games. Yeah. So everyone knows that deck. The Witchy Cat was fun. Yeah, I haven't used this deck in April, but I was using it in March. I kind of want to edge it. I have a purple that matches these backs. I don't want to do black because I'm worried it might, this particular card stock, I tested a card on like one of the title cards, and I saw that it kind of bled a little bit, so I don't want the black to bleed on here, but I feel like if the purple were to bleed, it wouldn't be as noticeable, and I don't think you'd see it on this black. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't edged a deck in some time. So yeah, Dame Darcy. A lot of fun. I got this recently because it was on sale. It was, I want to say it was like $18 or $19. This is the Tuck Box edition. It's the only Tuck Box edition of hers I own. I have the gold edition of the Mermaid, you know, and then the Alice Tarot. But the Tuck Box edition, I'll speak for it. It's quite nice. It doesn't feel cheap at all. And yeah, like I said, she had a sale. It was like 40 or 50% off or something. And then the magnetic box version went on sale. And I didn't buy it. Maybe sometime in the future, but I'm good with this for now. The Tarot d'Ambiguities. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this deck. And I'm still using this one for April here and there, just not as much as some of the others. And I feel like I just talked about this one too. I just think that the artist did a wonderful job drawing inspiration from several different Marseilles. I love how he rendered the faces, and it has a quality of feeling from that time, you know, while remaining, obviously, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay. Okay, Tarot d'Ambiguities. And then this, this is an AGM deck from 1990. It's like this one, you know, the Tarot Classic. And I didn't know for quite a while that this existed. So yeah, it's like the Tarot Classic, and it's based on an older deck from the late 1800s or early 1900s or something like that. But this is a different coloring than the US Games Tarot Classic that we're more familiar with. This is more like jewel toned or something. It's quite lovely. And these are the backs. So yeah, I was using this in March. I don't know if I've used this in April yet. This is from, like I said, 1990. When this arrived, it was still in its shrink wrap. Not the box, but the cards themselves. and I almost didn't want to open it, but I'm like, of course I'm going to open it. I bought this so that I could use it. It's beautiful. Okay. All right, so let's see, books. So I've been reading T. Susan Chang's 36 Secrets. Yeah, it's, you know, like a Deccan walk, or Deccan, however you want to pronounce it. I love T. Susan Chang. So I'm not really doing a Deccan or Deccan walk. Here we go again with my vacillation of pronunciation. I've also been using this. This I read a few years ago. This is also by T. Susan Chang. So I haven't really been doing the walk per se. I haven't really been doing any, like, you know, rituals or anything, but I've been writing down all sorts of, you know, associations, keywords, and things in one of my notebooks. So this is a wonderful book of tables. I highly recommend. I've been using that as reference, and I've been reading through this. I love T. Susan Chang. Like I said, I love the podcast that she did with M.M. Moline. Anyway, reading a lot of this. Love this magazine. So much fun. No, I'm going rather quickly here. Okay. So this, Angela Carter, Nights at the Circus. Oh my God. So first off, I'm so grateful. One of you lovely people, one of my viewers, recommended this to me. And usually when somebody mentions a book, I'm like, okay, and I put it on my list, and I don't usually read it right away because there's a whole queue of things that I've planned to read, like, you know, some strategy that I have, like some master plan of what I'm going to read. But I don't know, for whatever reason, I think it was because they said, like, go read it right now or something like that. I was like, okay. So I grabbed a copy, and I hadn't read any Angela Carter before. I've had one of her collections of stories on my bookshelf for a few years and had every intention of reading, just hadn't gotten to it yet. And this was my first one. And wow. It's a feminist novel. It's set in, like, you know, 1899, like turn of the century. And it's, like I said, it's a feminist novel, but it's full of humor, which I think we all need. It is full of so much humor and life, and most importantly, love. It reminds me sort of like a social novel from its time. It's really impeccably well researched. I love historical fiction, but this one is unique in that it also it blends historical fiction with this magical realism. It's a social novel because of its themes of, you know, like I said, feminism and poverty. It's all about, like, how the characters' actions are influenced by poverty, and the patriarchy and capitalism. It's what else did I want to say about it? So yeah, it's like, it reads like a classic novel. It actually reads like one. So I personally love classics. I suppose if you don't love classics, you might not find it as enjoyable. But I like to be challenged in not just, like, in something being difficult to read, but just by conflicts of clashing ideas or, you know, principles or what have you. I don't know what I wanted to say about it. I'm not doing a very good job. I'm not doing this justice. I want to read it again because there was some motif in the novel that, yeah, I want to read it again to see how some of that like played out. I'm kind of like, oh, wait a minute. What about this? So yeah, because of some of that motif in there, I want to give it another read. But like I said, it's full of life and love, and it's funny. Like, it makes me laugh. It takes place in London and St. Petersburg, and this was just a whirlwind. This was just, I'm gonna read it again. I just don't know when. So yeah, I need a sip of water. So yeah, Nights at the Circus. I didn't even really tell you like what it's about or the synopsis because I don't want to spoil anything. Just one of the best things that I have read in a long, long time. And I've read some good books, but wow, I needed that. So that was, I think I caught up with everything for March. Now, where do I go? Okay, let me gather my thoughts here. Let's see, what do I have? Oh, here's some other photos sitting here. I guess I'll just show these while I gather my thoughts. Yeah, I'm really glad I was able to make this video because, like I said, some of the anger, some of the emotions I've been going through have been very distracting. Oh, this was like one of my boyfriend's gigs. Anyway, the drama that I was mentioning it's really affected me, and I do a better job of like disassociating myself from it, you know, whilst not necessarily ignoring my problems, but trust me, they are other people's problems. Like, I know how to check like myself, how to keep myself in check when I think maybe I'm in the wrong. But no, this is old news at this point. And you know, I probably would have started a channel maybe a few years ago had it not been for this ghost I told you about, this person. I was terrified of them finding it and trying to somehow use it against me, because that's what these sorts of people do. But here I am. And a lot of people around me, even some people that I live with, don't even know that I have this channel. But I just felt like it was time. I needed to do it. I wanted to try and, you know, connect. Just try to connect. Like I said, I don't have many friends that live around me because I moved away many years ago, and I don't do like the social media much. I try to post on Instagram now and then and Facebook, and I don't know, I always end up getting sick to my stomach. So here I am. All right, so like, what are we doing now? So let's see, what else did we watch? So Around the World in 80 Days was fun. That was a program, you know, hosted by Masterpiece Theater that we watched as a family. I think it was in 8 parts. Really well done. We've been wanting to see that. Yeah. Lots of Monty Python. Like I said, some of these episodes, not necessarily the episodes, but some of the sketches, they take me off guard because it's been many years since I've watched them. So there's definitely certain things that I've exposed my daughter to that I'm like, whoa, I forgot about that. But overall, it's been a lot of fun. Music. I'll mention some music that I've been listening to recently. So of course, there's still listening to Brian Eno, a load of Brian Eno. So I'm not going to talk about this much because I can't remember which video it was. There were one or two of them where I talked about it at length. It was one of my app presents back in like December or something maybe. So I'm not going to repeat myself. And I'm still listening to, of course, my Coltrane, which I was talking about that, I think, in my Salem haul video, maybe. And I've been listening to a lot of my Monteverdi. Yeah, I love this. You know, Monteverdi, like 16th, 17th century. I don't think we even know exactly when he was born. His music, you know, bridged the Renaissance period and the Baroque period. Yeah, what can I say about Monteverdi? We actually have a lot of funny sort of contextual Monteverdi stories as a family. My daughter and I, like, don't we all? Doesn't everybody have like a good Monteverdi story? Like, for example, one day I was in the car with my daughter and we were listening to some Monteverdi, and there was all this construction on our street, and there was this policeman, like, you know, waving people on. And as we drove by, my daughter was like, I did not like his face. He looks like someone who became a cop just so that he could like tell people what to do. And I was like, yeah, I bet he doesn't listen to Monteverdi. Like, and my daughter, she smiled and nodded at me because it's probably true. I don't know. We're such dorks. Anyway, enough. Yeah, so for, you know, this is April. I already talked about the museum. I'm behind on some things. I still haven't really gotten back into the little art project that I was working on. I may or may not insert a photo of that. I don't know. I really need to get back into it, but I've just been busy. I've been busy. And like I said, sometimes it's hard for me to get back into my old routine after I've been sick. Certain things, I'm always making time for, like reading, unless I'm too ill to do so. And, you know, things like my fitness and stuff, and I keep a journal and all of that. I do some expressive, writing here and there, but the art I have yet to get back into, and this art room is a bit chaotic right now, so I do need to organize it some. So let's see, should I show you the decks that I've been working with this month? Yeah, so here's one, the Jean Noblet. This is a nice little edition that I bought of the facsimile some years ago. I don't know if this is available anymore. I just talked about this in my my Marseille collection video. But I love it. All the Noblets, I think, are small like this. It feels really nice in the hands. As I was mentioning, I love the facsimile. I've never been too crazy about the, you know, the modern cleaned up versions of the Noblet. Let's see. The Jacob Jorger, which is another one that I just talked about. Whoops. Okay, that just like kamikazed off the table. Yeah, this is beautiful. It's funny that it's like quirky and lovely at the same time. Like, this son looks like he's got a mustache. I love the colors in here. Like, there's some purples and things that you don't usually see. Like, this devil is so cute. These little hams. He's so cute. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I've been working with, primarily with Marseille. And there's a couple of other decks that I've made some time for, which are not Marseille. This one I've been using the Yu-Gi-Oh because, you know, we were just at the Hokusai exhibit and they had them there. I love these little backs. This is quite beautiful. I like that it's a pip deck. The pips actually in here might be my favorites, like in this deck. I like all the cards, but I really love the pips. It's beautiful. Yeah, I'd been looking at this one for a while and, you know, just like, oh, I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't buy every deck that I'm attracted to, but the exhibit sort of kind of pushed me over the edge. And I'd kind of forgotten about this, honestly. And it's nice for spring. I feel like this encapsulates the feeling of spring really well. Okay, I am not going to try to talk anymore. Oh, wait, I have to because I'm not done yet. Oh, thank you for bearing with me. El Gran Tarot Esoterico, which just feels like spring to me too. I went through a strange spell with this deck, which I've had this for many years. And I'll just mention right off the bat, in case you're confused, this deck uses the Picard miners. So the swords are associated with water. And I love the way that this is drawn, the line work. And the cups are air. So it's little birds and butterflies and things. Anyway, this deck reminds me of spring. I think I was using this back in like 2017, 2018. I had some fond memories with it. For example, I worked on and completed this little work of art. It was the first thing that I had done after a dry spell with creativity. And everything was just this grand synthesis of everything just, I don't know, being in harmony. And then shortly after that, I had this like repulsion for this deck. Like I had this aversion to it. And I don't know why. I just think there just might have been some really unpleasant conflicts going on or something. But anyway, that's all over with, and I feel compelled to use it now. So, great deck by Fournier. What else do we have here? The Pierre Marinier, beautiful. I'll just try to show this really quick. This is the current edition. There's been like 3 different editions of this. And I did talk about that, like I said, in the Marseille collection video. So I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to like market myself or like push you to view my other videos. It's just, I'm explaining why I'm trying not to repeat myself that much. Like if you really want to hear more, it's out there. I don't know. I don't think I really said that much about this, honestly. But it's beautiful Marseille. I think there's this consensus on this being one of the loveliest of the Marseille facsimiles. This one and the Claude Burdel are, I think, 2 of the most beautiful Marseilles. Let's see. This guy here. Okay, this is beautiful. This is from Tarot Shade Revival, the Adam C.D. I don't know how you pronounce it. oh my God, I'm embarrassing myself. Anyway, I'm a little high strung. I'm so sorry. But I was like, I've really got to do this video because I like to do these wrap-ups, these at presents. And I'm like, okay, it's like past mid-April now and you didn't do March. So, okay. Beautiful deck. I love these checkered borders. Yeah. Whoops. You know, not cheap, but I think worth it. And I honestly don't remember. I don't remember what I paid for it. All right. My Thoth, this is one of the ones I've been using. I've been really wanting to work with my Thoth decks, and I've been trying not to because, like I said, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it, that I've been doing a deep dive with my Marseille because it was time. And so I've been really wanting to work with these, but I've been limiting myself because, you know, this is another like lifelong study, the Thoth decks and everything Crowley, you know. Yeah, I love this 1978 edition. Oh, so beautiful. I've been wanting to do a video too on highlighting my favorite negative cards, like in the Thoth. Like maybe, you know, I guess I could mention other decks, but especially with this one. And they're not necessarily negative, but they have a general sort of consensus of being like having negative connotations, like this one here, the Five of Cups. This is one of my favorite cards stylistically, and I also have a personal relationship with it, not just in this deck, but in many, like especially the Morgan Greer. Love the Eight of Cups. I think it's beautiful. So yeah, I can't be here all night, so I have to move on. What did I do with the box? Oh no. All right, I just have to be careful. The Pablo Robledo Dodal. This is beautiful. It's the backs. I hope you can't hear my stomach. Yeah, this is fun. All the Dodals, like with the faces, the crazy eyes, and yeah, I've really taken quite a liking to this deck. And the Dolly Tarot, oh my god, okay. This deck is like new to me. Oh my god, I don't know why I ignored this for quite a while because I didn't know what it was. I didn't realize for quite some time that that it was actually by Dolly. This is the ultimate what do you call it? What is wrong with me today? Wow. This is like the ultimate collage deck, I think. I mean, come on. This is just amazing. So yeah, I decided something made me pay more attention. I just thought, I guess for a few years, I was under the impression that this was just like any other, you know, art deck, like that's meant to represent like the works of a certain artist, like, you know, like the Botticelli, which I love this deck. This deck is beautiful. I did not know what this was. And when I actually started paying attention, I was like, holy shit, that is the bomb. Does anyone even say that anymore? Like, anyway, okay, I'm sure that I will talk about this more in the future. But for now, let's see. Oh yeah. Here we are. Okay. The Vampire Tarot by Robert M. Place. This deck is out of print. I'm just going to tell you right off the bat. So, you know, it's, I don't think I've shown it in like my only 10 decks videos or anything, but they need to reprint this. I think I tried to research why it hasn't been reprinted. It's an amazing deck. I've wanted this for a really long time. This is a deck for people who love not just vampires and Dracula, but literature and the arts. I mean, Robert M. Place has, you know, a handful of other decks that he reprints. And I have some of the others. This one is probably my favorite. Like Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Oh my God. I don't know why. If anyone knows why this can't be reprinted, let me know. It's just the best. I love, actually, I like the borders on this. There's something about this deck that these white borders would normally be like, you know, really boring, but I think there's just something about this that just really suits it. I've seen it trimmed and it looks fine, but I prefer it with these white borders. This looks so much like Virginia Woolf's mother, or maybe even Virginia herself, which would make sense because Robert M. Place loves the Pre-Raphaelites, and Burne-Jones used Virginia Woolf's mother, what was her name, Julia Jackson, and then Stevens, as a model. Yeah. Franz Liszt. Oh my God. I think he's in here because if I remember right, I believe that Bram Stoker, I think it was Bram Stoker. I mean, yes, he wrote Dracula, but I'm pretty sure it was him who, they think he was inspired by his appearance, by Franz Liszt's appearance. He modeled the appearance of Dracula after him, maybe, but I might be wrong. I'm just trying to remember what I read. Yeah, love Franz Liszt. All these little garlic flowers. And I like that the minors are sort of pippish. It's just so beautiful. The nightmare of life and death. Yeah. Lord Byron. Okay, So yeah, I have been having like a love affair with this deck. I've made this, and my Marseille decks, I've been making the most time for. Like, I would use this every day if I could, but I don't always do more than one reading a day, and I've been really trying to focus on my Marseille. So, speaking of that, some more books here. I've been reading this, and I'm going to go as quickly as I can. I finished this last month, and oh my gosh, I know I talked about these in another video. I don't know which one I like more, if I like the one on Ireland or Cornwall more. Maybe this one. There were so many things I learned. Crowley and Cornwall, so cool. Like the hobby horse, the Alba Os tradition, which I found really interesting. The Assembly of the Bards, just so great. So highly recommend if you like travel logs or Ithel Colquhoun. I read this recently for book club. As you can see, I marked many pages. So that was fun. I'm still reading The Once and Future King, and I could have finished it by now, but I've been trying to savor it. And this book is so beautiful. Like I said, this is a reread. I read this many years ago. I don't even remember when. I've always loved King Arthur, but this one, which was written, you know, like 1930s, pretty sure it was. I don't think it was the 1940s. Yeah, 1939. This one is my favorite. It's just, okay, let's see if I can give you an example. So here, like, Merlin, you know, he would transform Arthur Wart, as he was known when he was younger, into different animals to teach him lessons. And here, he's about to meet the wild geese, the beautiful wild geese. So, so now let's see, if I can read you something. The place in which he found himself was absolutely flat. In the human world, we seldom see flatness, for the trees and houses and hedges give a serrated edge to the landscape. I'm going to move forward a bit. In this enormous flatness, there lived one element, the wind, for it was an element. It was a dimension, a power of darkness. In the human world, the wind comes from somewhere and goes somewhere, and, as it goes, it passes through somewhere, through trees or streets or hedgerows. This wind came from nowhere. It was going through the flatness of nowhere, to no place, horizontal, soundless except for a peculiar boom, tangible, infinite. The astounding dimensional weight of it streamed across the mud. You could have ruled it with a straight edge. The titanic gray line of it was unwavering and solid. You could have hooked the crook of your umbrella over it, and it would have hung there. The wart, facing into this wind, felt that he was uncreated. Except for the wet solidity under his webbed feet, he was living in nothing. A solid nothing, like chaos. His were the feelings of a point in geometry, existing mysteriously on the shortest distance between 2 points, or of a line drawn on the plane's surface which had length, breadth, but no magnitude. No magnitude! It was the very self of magnitude. It was power, current, force, direction, a pulseless world stream, steady in limbo. Bounds had been set to this unhallowed purgatory. Far away to the east, perhaps a mile distant, there was an unbroken wall of sound. It surged a little, seeming to expand and contract, but it was solid. It was menacing. Desirous for victims, for it was the huge, remorseless sea. Wow. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say. And I'm sure that I'll talk about it again in the future after I've finished the book for the second time. And I have other, you know, maybe I'll read more. I'm not sure. Um, Dracula. I just started this recently because, you know, the Vampire Tarot, and I don't know, is it because I was watching all of that Hammer horror, or was it because of the deck? Or did I start using the deck because of the Hammer horror? Or did I start watching the Hammer horror because of the deck? I don't know, but all I'm trying to say is I just felt compelled to read Dracula. It was, I don't know, it was not planned for this month or even this year. It just happened, and I had an impulse and I went with it, while still, you know, reading the books that I had on my list for this year. Yeah, I don't know. Don't you love this little buy two get the third free sticker? Okay, so I don't really have much to say about Dracula because I just started reading it recently, like a few days ago. Yeah, did I talk about everything? I think this is probably an hour long. I hope that you enjoyed this and I wasn't too rambly, and yeah, I'm hoping to be back again soon. It's going to be hard for me like late May into June with the school year wrapping up. It's always a chaotic time, you know, dance recitals and like graduations and stuff. Oh, I'm not, I should be more excited about it, but I'm not. And I think I have some people visiting and stuff, and I'm sure there will be maybe some unpleasantness that I have to deal with, but hopefully I can handle it with some grace. It might be hard for me to make videos though, but anyway, yeah, I hope everyone's well. And thank you for watching. Okay, bye.
Oh, stop. I don't want a video. Oh.
All right.
Oh.
You
Depends on my mascara. Ow. Okay, enough.